Good morning. It is Friday, November 28th, and I've got my earpiece and the guide is talking in the earpiece. So I'm being distracted. But we are at ancient Syracuse. We've left Catania. We went on the bus about an hour and we're at ancient Syracuse. So we're at an archaeological site. So, I love my old stuff. So stay tuned. All right, we have walked down into the area called the prison, and this is where the slaves would cut rock, cut stone for building. And we've just started the tour. So they called this the prison, and they quarried the really good limestone. And so it was like honeycombed with tunnels. And then they left because the Romans wanted marble. So it had a roof. I mean, this is one of the supports for the roof. And people lived on top of it. And then an earthquake came, the roof fell. There's a house that survived. And now it's a beautiful garden. So this stone was part of the roof of that honeycombed area that came down during the earthquake. And the latest Indiana Jones part of it was filmed here. So these were all man-made, all these caves. They were trying to dig out the best limestone, not the squishy stuff at the top, but the best limestone. And again, they went under the ground. So this was once upon a time like mines, limestone mines almost. So this is again a man-made. This is what this whole area looked like underneath the roof. Just all these caves that they were that they took the limestone, the really good limestone out of. And these were all prisoners who did this. I called them slaves, but they were prisoners that were compelled to work because they were the losers. So this is a man-made cave. Again, they're all man-made. I think I filmed this earlier. This is called the Ear of Dionysius, but not Dionysius the god. It was Dionysius, a tyrant that ruled in Syracuse. So we are in the cave. And it's an echo cave. Ooh. There's the echoes. All right, it is time to leave the cave. It is really dark in here. All right, we are at the theater here in Syracuse, the ancient theater. Not quite as steep as in Taormina. Impressive. So these are a bunch of school kids that we walked by, and this is their teacher, and he's reading Greek tragedy to them. And they loved saying hi to us as we walked by and practicing their English. I love it. All right, this is the ruins. This is the base of a temple dedicated to Zeus that was the biggest sacrificial compound in the Mediterranean. They used to sacrifice bulls here. All right, this is the amphitheater that was built by the Romans when they took over Syracuse. They loved the Greek theater. They thought it was very pretty, so they didn't want to tear it down. So they built their own. Wow. So we have made it to the old city of Syracuse on the island of Ortigia. All right, we are at the Temple of Apollo in Syracuse. And there's quite a bit left. Well, it was probably rebuilt, but still looks cool. So we are walking the alleys of Syracuse, and look at these little alleys. And there's all kinds of shops and fun stuff.
When we build or buy a house,
really cute. And I'm loving the fish.
but I can tell you it's very nice.
And possible place for lunch, she recommends a Sicilian salad. And I love the balconies. Tons of little restaurants along here. Cute. Again, just so cute, and loving this old bike here and the flowers. All right, we are in Cathedral Square in the old town of Syracuse. And this looks like it's City Hall. Really gorgeous. And in the sun, it's so warm. It's probably 62. And there's Diana, our wonderful tour guide. All right, this is another view from Cathedral Square. I was coming up the other way. This is a much better view because of the sun, and just again a glorious day with a blue sky. And this is the cathedral somewhere behind here, and it was built. I guess they incorporated an ancient temple in building this church. And it's dedicated to Saint Lucia, or Saint Lucy, who is the patron saint of Syracuse and of also eyesight. Because she was murdered, they poked her eyes out. Ew. Okay, we are in the church of Saint Lucia. And this is the church that was made, it was incorporated into this Greek temple. So you can see the pillars over here on either side. This is really cool. Beautiful, beautiful stained glass at the top. So this was the Temple of Athena. And in the 5th century AD, they built a basilica. And I think that's what a lot of these stone walls are from, but I'm not sure. And this is back looking towards the entrance. Yeah, I'd love to see what this looked like when it was a temple to, who did I say? Athena. And this is the chapel dedicated to Santa Lucia. It's really pretty. Oh, up here is gorgeous. It's really quite ornate. And I think there are some relics from St. Lucy. And this is this very ornately decorated sacristy. But the ceiling is really beautiful. Again, very ornate. All right, so we have stopped in this lovely little restaurant for lunch, and I got a beer. So we got some local beers. I got the lager, and it's in an adorable glass. So we got pizza, and we got an orange salad, which is a typical, oh, look at the puppy, typical salad from Sicily. But look at my little glass. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Anyway, I'll show you what the pizza looks like in a minute. All right, our lunch has arrived and it looks amazing. We're splitting a pizza, and then this is an orange salad. It's got oranges, fennel, wild fennel, olives, and onion, I believe. So it all looks so fresh and good. All right, so I am looking for an ATM that doesn't charge an outrageous amount. So we were told there was one in this square, and I couldn't find where it was. And Judy, one of our travelers, said, could that be it? The Bank of Sicily? Anyway, so this is a beautiful fountain. It's a beautiful square. This looks like it was an old palace. Oh my gosh. Lunch was spectacular, by the way. And we get some Art Deco action going on here. Okay, we are walking. We stopped in a bakery. Yum. I got some cookies. And we see a sign for an Irish pub. And I did not see one Irish pub in Catania. Now, it could be I didn't walk around enough, but wow, it was the first big city that I've been into and couldn't find an Irish pub. So anyway, we're headed down to the waterfront to check it out. Okay, this is the third time I've tried this because I keep coughing and sneezing. So we're down at the waterfront and it is beautiful. It is just beautiful. So that's in Syracuse, as our tour guide said. And there's a little pier people are going out on. It's just really lovely. And this is a huge plaza, which I bet is a gathering place in the summer or when the weather's nice, but the weather is gorgeous today, but we pretty much have it all to ourselves. And if I was a betting woman, I would say that's a hotel. So lovely. All right, we have made it to our next destination. We left Catania and we stopped. We had the 2 stops coming up here, and now we are in Ragusa. So yeah, I don't know if that's an ancient aqueduct or a modern bridge. Someone's walking over it. Anyway, so it's way down, and the city kind of goes around this deep valley, and that's our hotel, the Mediterranean Palace. So my friend Mary has 2 friends who live in Ragusa, and we're going to join them for dinner tonight. So that's always fun. All right, we are done with dinner, and we're walking back to the hotel with Lalo and Tom. And look at the cathedral. Oh, it's beautiful.